Okay.
Lucy, what are you going to make?
I'm going to make a nut roast.
A what?
A nut roast.
What is a nut roast?
What is a nut roast? It's nuts and bread. Well, I'll introduce you to my ingredients. Okay.
Let's meet the ingredients.
So this I've already prepared the nuts. I've ground them up into like a fine breadcrumby type consistency. Brazil nuts, walnuts, and almonds. 2 types of almonds: whole almonds and flaked almonds.
Grind those by
So
hand.
I ground them up in a coffee grinder, which you can actually use to grind nuts or spices. This is 3 slices of wholemeal bread, also ground in the coffee grinder.
Where do you get your wholemeal bread from?
I got this from the cooperative.
Cooperative, oh yeah. Fair.
Exactly, yeah.
That's nice.
Yes.
Look at that now.
So you get stock. I've got some stock cubes here. Now, ideally, you'd make your stock fresh, but I'm not.
Why not?
Well,
Why not?
I don't like all that wasted vegetables that you just discard at the end of the stock making process. So I've got some OXO here, premium brand. Heat up the stock, and you add a couple of teaspoons of Marmite.
Yeah, well, goodness, yes.
And then to that you add your nuts and your breadcrumbs.
Show me the Marmite's optional, is it?
No, I think it is quite important. That yeasty taste kind of really adds something, definitely. You can't taste the Marmite.
Okay.
It's kind of like
it wasn't there.
Yeah. And then you add some herbs, mixed herbs. I've got oregano here, and nutmeg, which I've never used before, but I think it might add something.
Give it a try.
Nutmeg?
Yeah,
if it feels good, do it.
Yeah. Oh, and you've also got a sauteing onion, and you do that before, and you add that.
Is that like frying?
Yeah, it's fried. It's like a gentle fry until the onion's transparent. In some butter.
that sounds lovely. I can't wait to try it.
And you combine all of them, and then you bake it.
Oh, lovely.
So I'll start by.
Simple, really, isn't it?
It's very simple. It's very simple. It's nutritious. It's filling. It's full of protein and essential vitamins.
Oh, I know. I can eat protein. I mind protein.
It's
I
balanced.
prefer carbohydrates.
So I need to chop this onion into small pieces and then saute it gently. And often what's a problem when you chop an onion into small pieces is it kind of slips from underneath your fingers.
Yeah.
And you don't get an even chop.
Yeah.
So there is I might need to get a different knife actually.
That knife is
the
blunt
meat
as
knife.
anything.
So the key is to not cut through this bit or this bit, because this is what holds it together.
All right.
So instead of cutting it like this, which is what most people would do,
Yeah.
you want to cut it off centre.
Okay. There we go.
This.
All your strength, Lucy. That's very interesting. Yeah.
I've never seen this. This is a new
So let's have a look at that onion. Let's have a look at that. That's
fresh
that's
onion.
an oblique
Fresh
angle
onion.
there.
I think this is a traditional, just English white onion.
Yeah, it's probably Spanish.
so a British
Probably
white,
Spanish.
as they know.
Okay, so this is the bit that's keeping it all together. So you don't cut right to the end. You just cut as close to the end as you can get without actually cutting all the way along.
I've done this before.
You see that nice slow rolling movement?
Yeah, that's a very nice action you've got.
And then that keeps it together. And then you can just...
That's very good.
Oh, that's lovely. Have you done cookery programs before?
No, I haven't actually, but I went on a cookery course, a 1-day cookery course with Pat Chapman, who is...
He's at the Funhouse.
I don't think so. But he's an Indian cookery expert. Yeah, and he taught me how to chop these onions like this.
Oh, this is an educational program, and that is educational.
Okay, so I've chopped my onion and all the other ingredients are prepared, so I just need to put it all together now to make the nut roast. Okay. So we're using the water from the vegetables.
Instead of the OXO.
No, as well as the OXO.
OXO.
So I'm going to measure out 300 millilitres.
And you're going to do that by...
That's not open, is it?
Probably not.
Let's just see what happens. There we go. And you're going to do it by eye, are you? Or you...
No, there's a
Oh, it's a...
scale just there.
Wow, it's nifty, isn't it? I'll get rid of that. I'll get that on here.
Okay.
Mind the electrics.
I'm just going to add this to the pan.
Okay, there's your pan.
And then add 1 stock cube and just mix that into the hot water.
You know about 1 stock cube a pint, don't you normally?
Yeah.
And that's certainly less than a pint. Paring knives, very good for stirring as well, I think.
Can you do that, please?
Probably get something better than that. Like a spoon.
So, to this hot mix of stock, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of Marmite. I'm then going to add the nuts and the breadcrumbs and mix it all together. And then I've got to fry off the onions and then I'll add that to the mix also. I'll put the herbs in now.
Into the water
Oregano,
mix.
you just put in however much.
So was that oregano?
Oregano, just kind of, you know, and a bit of nutmeg. Can you?
Heady looking mix.
I mean, you can't smell that, but it smells very.
This is.
It's a nice smell, isn't it?
Describe it.
It's kind of autumnal.
It is, yeah. It smells like autumn.
Warming. It's kind of like coming in after a cold walk home.
Not like Bovril.
Less meaty.
I do like Bovril. Hello, Adam. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome home.
This is Mr. Adam.
So I'm really a bit sweaty.
Come in.
It's
Been
good
away for a bit.
sweat.
Very loud.
You moved back here, didn't you?
Yeah, with Lucy.
Great.
Sorry, Lucy.
Whilst it is hot, we're gonna add.
okay.
Is that? Yeah, I think that's right. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's one of those things where you can just like.
So we're going to add the breadcrumbs to the hot
No,
mix.
this is the nuts.
Sorry, I
And you can
apologise.
see here, you don't realise how oily nuts are, but then when you grind it, you get like it's kind of like a, it's kind of like a sticky kind ofness to it. And that's because you've kind of broken up the oils there. It's stickiness. It's clumping together like that. So add the nuts like this. I've kept some of the nuts. I've kept kind of a bit whole so that people can get a nice little.
They can remember it's nuts.
Yeah. And then these are the breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Also add them in.
Good amount of breadcrumbs. It's bread that fills
Give it
you
a
up.
good stir. That's perfect consistency.
I've never seen a nut roast made before, I don't think.
It's
That does look
absolutely
good.
great.
That looks really good.
And then I need to get some salt and pepper. So I want to season this, add salt and pepper, and then fry up the onions, add that, and then put it in the oven.
Okay.
So it's dead easy.
Dead easy.
So, getting it in, we're going.
Don't want to add too much salt because the Marmite is already quite salty.
Yeah, so's the stock.
Oh yeah, actually I won't add that then.
Just leave that for later. Give that a nice stir then. Adam, you're always munching away, eh?
Yeah, well, a bit more.
So can we...
Give it a little taste.
So this is a nut roast then?
The potatoes actually parboiling here as well, isn't it? It's good for not too much washing up, isn't it?
Take a knob of butter. Just wait for that to melt down.
Do you encourage it to brown? Do you think it should brown?
The onions?
Yeah. No, the butter actually.
Oh, the butter? No, I don't think you should let it brown, no.
Some people like the taste of burnt butter, but not you.
You've got to be generous with the butter. Don't want to skin, that's nicely melted. Add these are the onions that I prepared earlier. Until they're when my onions are coming along nicely here. You've got good sizzle on them. With butter's giving it a lovely kind of golden colour.
That's a saute.
It's good because it's quite a fast saute, and then that'll be all going into that pan there.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of this oil just to so that when it comes to taking the nut roast out, it'll come out nice and easy.
That's your baking dish there.
This is the baking dish that we'll be using. And this is the oil that we fried the onions in. So keeping that flavour in, and also, you know, not wasting the oil.
No. Well, exactly. Reuse rather than recycle.
Hate
Wash
waste.
my hands, so this is fine.
You hate what?
We hate waste
hate waste.
as a group.
We believe in reuse, not recycling.
Well, you know, it's not-
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah.
That's the waste hierarchy there for you.
And then the oiled pan. We'll add the mixture, that's the nuts and the onions all. We'll just put it in the oven for a bit.
How long do you want it in the oven for?
Normally be about half an hour. I think I'll probably put this in for 15 and then check it.
It smells lovely.
I think it'll take a bit less because it's quite a thin layer, you can see.